Welcome back, everybody. We're going to get started here with inside linebackers coach and defensive coordinator Peter Sirmon ahead of Cal's home game against NC State. We're going to go to Jake Curtis from Cal Bears on SI for the first question. Go ahead, Jake.
Can you talk about the development of Sheck Fall since he came to Cal?
Yeah, Sheck's been a great story. When he first enrolled at Eastern Kentucky, I believe he was about 190 pounds. He had a soccer background. He was playing some like field overhang, kind of like a nickel hybrid type of position. And then, his body just really blew up. He's gotten bigger and bigger. And we were really excited. During his visit, he brought his little brother here with us, and we met his dad. So it's a wonderful family. I know he's got a great story. And he's continued to develop here, and we're excited on his future development and him continuing to take steps.
All right, any more questions for Coach Sirmon? Put them in the chat. Okay, we'll go to Steve Croner from the Chronicle.
Good morning, Peter.
Good afternoon. Good morning.
Hey, what distinguishes NC State, particularly its freshman quarterback?
Yeah, I think he's done a good job. I think they've done a really nice job of bringing him along. With that type of talent, he moves the ball around. He has a really live arm. He can escape pressure. He's still an inexperienced player, but I'd have to imagine NC State's very excited about what the future is with him and his development. They do a good job of spreading the ball around. The Concepcion, I think, is a really, really good player for him. They do a good job of putting him in the backfield, finding ways to push the ball downfield. He even returns some kicks for him. So I think they do a good job of featuring him. Their O-line is big. I think they play well together. And then the tight end they brought in from UConn, number 15, I think he's a really tough matchup, at least for us. So I think they've done a nice job of bringing Bailey along. I think they lean. They want to lean on the run game. I think they have some depth in that backfield. So we're expecting a really well-coached football team coming in on Saturday.
All right, we'll go to Jim McGill from Bear Insider next.
Hey, Peter, your defense was elite the first three games in generating turnovers, and sort of a common denominator in the three losses is there weren't as many, although you did have a couple of interceptions in the second half that really kept the team in the game. What does it take to be elite in that category, and what will it take to get back to that level?
I think when the turnovers come, sometimes they come in streaks. Typically those things are influenced by the front. Overthrown tip balls, guys under duress. You see a lot of those interceptions had some component of that. Where I think we need to continue to build on is forcing the fumbles. That's where we've had some fumbles on the ground that unfortunately we didn't get on. But attacking the football, when you're a team that does take the ball away, I know from being in the meetings that's a big point of emphasis for the offense. So they do a good job of taking care of the football. But those are things that sometimes when they come in bunches, it feels like there should be an explanation. And then sometimes when it gets a little bit cold, you're looking for explanations as well. I think, being +2 yesterday with the 2 interceptions versus that team, I thought it gave an opportunity to find a few more possessions. But big picture, disruptive up front, getting the quarterback off his spot, tip balls, tips and overthrows, that old adage. And then, we have to do a better job of attacking the football once the ball is caught or it's a running play and trying to punch that ball out.
And with regard to the losses, it can be really demoralizing when a team loses and they're not in the game. And that's not been the case for you guys. But on the flip side, it can be really frustrating to lose winnable games, all of them being winnable. How does the team feel right now in terms of being able to get over the hump and start stringing together some wins?
Well, I've been doing the football for a long time, and football can be lonely. When you don't get the results that you want, it can be extremely discouraging. But I think when you don't get the result that you have or that you desire, you can't lose your enthusiasm due to discouragement. So what we talk about here is we're going to keep on pounding the rock. Justin had a really good metaphor of us. We all got to pick up a hammer. We all have to do our part. It doesn't matter if you're a coach, a player, anyone associated with the program. We all have to look at ourselves and think, okay, what can I do to help the team in whatever my capacity is? If you're the defensive coordinator, if you're the scout team quarterback, it doesn't really matter. So I think when you look at things internally and you try to find solutions that can motivate you, when you feel things are out of your control, that's when I believe things kind of fall off the handles. Like, well, there's nothing I can do about it, and you lose the ownership. As long as we keep the perspective of I control my production to this team, and you feel you're in control of your future, I expect these guys to come out every single day, ready to play, ready to practice, and go out there and give their very, very best effort.
Thanks.
Any more questions? We'll go to Matt Moreno from Rivals.
When you look at what Teddy's done in his production this season, it doesn't feel like there's a ton to critique. But when you are talking with him and you have your meetings with him and have him practice, what are some of the things that you're talking to him about that you could even see him get better at, the second half of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the consistency, and not to allude that he's been inconsistent, but at linebacker here, we talk a lot about getting the bat on the ball. We're trying to get on base. We're trying to get singles. We're trying to get doubles. I refer to them as edge players. You might hit triples and home runs, kind of some more splashy plays, edge plays, sacks, things like that. But at inside linebacker here, we're looking for consistent production. And there's a couple plays that, he would like back. He had a wonderful strong hook drop into Georgia, on the third and kind of extra long there. He got up. He would love to finish that play. But for us, I think we've done a good job of developing linebackers here, and the production has been consistent for years and years and years. And what you don't want a linebacker to do is to press. You want the plays to reveal themselves. You want them to do their job, and then you want them to go get probably 2 or 3 tackles a game with effort. And that's what he did. There was a couple balls on the perimeter down in the kind of the high red. We had one missed tackle on the perimeter, and Teddy broke out of the stack and ended up getting the ball carried down. So, we talk about improving at that position. It's just, hey, can you even be more consistent? Can you put the bat on the ball every single swing? And that's where I think Teddy can continue to improve, and you can see even greater production from him.
And, Noel coming back this season, he had mentioned, I want to put some good things on tape. We know he has aspirations of playing at the next level. What were the conversations like with him over the offseason about, just doing that and how you guys can help that? And what have you thought just about how he's played this entire season?
Yeah, so we got some feedback on behalf of Noel, at the end of the season. And, some of those feedbacks can be discouraging to a player. The NFL process and how the NFL grades and writes up players is not for the faint of heart. When you get a write up, and I can remember, I'm getting old now. 25 years ago, I had the opportunity to peek at mine coming out, and you would have thought that I couldn't get lined up, I couldn't tackle anybody, and it's really just not a personal attack, but it's a physical attack on things that are deficiencies. It really starts from, okay, this player can't do this, and this. It's not hey, this player can do this, and this. It's a completely objectified version, and that's how they do it. And when he got that feedback, he realized that there were some things that they wanted him to work on. And I can remember actually on the sideline during bowl prep, he and I visiting about that and talking about, hey, you got to worry about the things you can control. And that's going to be playing with better consistency, better technique, because he has stature, he has ball skills, he's an extremely determined young man. So the things that we encouraged him to work on the offseason were those things: the consistency, the technique, the discipline. And for him to take that constructive criticism and be able to translate it into an improved product, a better player, I think really speaks volumes of him having the humility of taking information, deciphering it, not letting it beat you down, but hey, these are the things that I need to improve on that I can control. Taking that into account, improving on that, and seeing a better version of that, he's gonna have a chance to play in the NFL. And the NFL is, you're just looking for one team that thinks you have some redeeming qualities, and then when you get the opportunity, you got to go back out there and you got to make a home in that team. And that body type, or every player is not for every NFL franchise. Everybody has their own taste. But Noel is a fantastic football player. He's a great teammate. And we're really excited for him to get his opportunity to finish this year and go move on to the next level.
We'll go to Cody Henderson from the league winners.
Hey, Coach. Cam Sidney got his first career interception last week. How would you assess his play so far, and do you anticipate him having a much bigger role going forward?
I was very proud of Cam. Cam's played field nickel for us. He's played some safety for us. Cam comes from a very good pedigree of high school football. He has been a consistent player for us. He's worked his tail off. He's been behind some really good players. And you know, we've had some different guys have some opportunities at that nickel position this year. And we felt what he was doing in practice, he had an opportunity to go out there and help us. He played under control. I thought he tackled well. He did what we asked him to do. And, you know, sometimes you bring guys along slowly with some of the calls, you know, if you can help them, if you can support them in certain situations. But I was very pleased with his first extended play that he went out there, was extremely focused on what his technique, his alignment, his fundamentals. And I know that there's bigger things ahead for him.
Thanks, Coach.